Hello, my name is Cassandra Miller, and I participated in Composer's Kitchen in 2009. The mentors that year were Rodney Sharman and Paul Frainer. It was just generally known. I think that most of my favorite composers at that time had already participated. I knew that I'd be working at a high level, but I wasn't entirely sure otherwise. I couldn't really have predicted how great it was going to be. We learned a lot about string writing, of course, but in a very detailed way, much more than you could possibly learn in any other context. And we learned a lot about relating to the instruments themselves and also about relating to instrumentalists in general, but also in a more detailed way than you could learn anywhere else. In terms of their artistic interests, I would say that their interests are essentially queer in the sense that they're essentially outside of the norms, and that they've been existing on this premise for so many years that they have a deep sense of what art is, what it should be and what it can be, and that these ways of thinking continue to influence me heavily in my life, in everything that I do. Directly after working with them, the next piece I wrote benefited a lot from these things that I learned, technically and aesthetically, and I went on to win the Jules Leger Prize from that piece. And also since that time, more importantly, I've worked extensively with the Bozzinis. I'm currently writing my fourth piece for them, and they've played my music all over the world. Without their support, I'm not sure I'd be a composer today. More than anything, I remember watching the rehearsals of the pieces of the other people and just how much I learned from that, technically, but also the work of the other composers continues to be a big influence on what I do, now 7 years later. Some of my current projects are now with the BBC Scottish Symphony, also the Oslo Philharmonic, the London Sinfonietta, Apartment House, and soloists and small ensembles throughout Canada and Europe. I do have to be honest to say that all of this started and was made possible through my work with the Bozzinis. I can't stress that enough. Music in Canada has largely been developed and supported by the Bozzinis, and that Canada would be a very, very different place without them. So I urge you to support the Bozzini Quartet and especially the Composer's Kitchen.